Labour Party's efforts to scupper attempts by David Cameron to form a government are shameful after losing the election so badly.
So, Evan Harris, problems all round.
Yeah, well, clearly, and I've said this in the Times this morning, there is no easy, and this is really recognised, and Nick Clegg knew this at the outset, during the campaign and now, that there is no solution to the fact that the country has not voted for a single party to have a majority of seats. That will be easy for the Lib Dems in PR terms in the short term. But he also made clear that that wasn't his priority. I think in the medium to long term, he will be respected for the fact that he's trying to put the interests of the country rather than the party first. And that's going to be difficult for some of our supporters. But the alternative for us doing the negotiating with the largest party, the party with the clearest mandate, is that they govern alone with more undiluted Conservative policy. So I think people writing in with an axe to grind is to be expected, and I get those messages too. But there's another constituency out there that wants to see cooperation, and that's the silent majority, I suspect.
Do you get the sense, Michael Howard, that whether it's what they call a sort of supply and maintenance deal that is done with the Liberal Democrats, or it's more like a full-blown coalition with seats in the cabinet, that we're heading for another election, maybe not this year, but sometime next year?
Well, not necessarily. I think one of the things that I assume one of the things that the negotiating teams are talking about is some kind of mechanism for introducing an element of stability into whatever agreement they may be able to reach. And I think that's very important. I think that for all sorts of reasons, it would be highly desirable if we could end up with an arrangement which did have an element of stability in it and was clearly designed to last for much more than a few months.
All right. And if we get that, Jim, and you, obviously Mr Brown goes, who would you like to see as the new Labour leader?
I think we've just got to see. I mean, while there's all the uncertainty about who's forming the government, Gordon has to be Prime Minister. I think we have to respect his role as Prime Minister rather than talking about what happens at whatever point he decides to go.
All right. My thanks to my two guests in London for enduring the sauna. If you want to lose any more weight, just stay here for another half hour. And to Evan in Oxford, sorry we couldn't all hear you, but at least we could. It's good to see you there. Thank you for that. Joe.
Now, while the top talent in the Conservative and Liberal Democrat parties talk turkey over more civil service sandwiches, there's the small matter